It's a time for family, friends, and Fido to gather for a feast, but sometimes we bite off a little more than we can chew. According to a 2016 survey by Pet Matrix and Wakefield Research, 64% of U.S. dog owners say that their dog has chewed on something they shouldn't have during a holiday celebration.
They can't help it. We got to be the boss here.
Yeah.
Joining us live to talk about how to avoid holiday mishaps or even an emergency trip to the doctor is Dr. Ruth McPeet. To talk about this. Great to have you in.
And they are puppies, actually, that we have down there.
We have some great little friends down
yes,
there.
We do.
Guys, you calm down a little bit.
They know the camera's rolling.
They do.
Yeah.
So let's talk about food dangers to watch out for.
Yes.
Let's face it, we get all these friends and family in town. The poocher, knows he's got a new sucker nearby, so he's gonna.
And you want the dog to like you, so you try to steal some of your food, right?
Well, the first thing that I always tell everybody is no sharing. That's the best tip I can give anyone for Thanksgiving. I know it's tempting and it's the season of giving, but sharing your Thanksgiving meal with your pet can be really hazardous for your pet's health. So you want to make sure you don't, because it's really better not to, because the fatty foods, Thanksgiving meal, giving them turkey skin, drippings or gravy, bones, anything like that can be really hazardous for their health. They can develop GI upset just from the greasy food from the ham or the turkey skin. And they can also get a life-threatening pancreatitis or a bone stuck in their intestinal tract.
So remember that.
And some of these foods are dangerous,
yes,
too.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
the second thing.
The
second thing is that people need to know what is poisonous to pets. And there's a lot of food that we eat that is actually toxic to pets. So most people know about chocolate. Chocolate is actually toxic to pets, so it's a no-no. You want to make sure they're not getting into that, that you're not giving it to them, but also that it's out of reach of pets.
So you don't drop it on the floor and they're right under your chair.
Or leave it where they can get it.
Gum?
Yeah, this is one a lot of people don't realize, is that the artificial sweetener xylitol is highly toxic and deadly to pets if they get a hold of it. And it's in a lot of desserts. It's in Jell-O, sugar-free Jell-O. It's in gums. It's in sugar-free candy. It can be in pies. So
I'm just thinking about going out for a walk, you got a piece of gum in your mouth after the meal, you chuck it into the woods, the dog runs in after it. So you got to be careful with that.
You got to be careful with that. And people a lot of times will say they'll get into their purse and chew up a pack of gum.
What about onions? I didn't realize those were
Onions
toxic.
are toxic. Again, not something most people would give their pet, but you do need to watch out for that because it's toxic. Nuts are another thing. So a variety of nuts are toxic. Macadamia nuts, walnuts. So you want to watch out for that. And then raisins. This is one, raisins and grapes, that a lot of people don't realize. And they're in a lot of Thanksgiving dishes.
The stuffing.
So they cause kidney failure in dogs. So you want to be careful not to drop grapes.
So as the owner of the pet, I mean, they're used to being around people even at the dinner table.
Yep.
Do you just remove them from that situation,
yes,
or what?
The best thing to do is keep your pet out of the crowds and the chaos in your house. So keep them safely tucked in a back room, because a lot of them also get lost during the holidays, and that's why we see so many in shelters after
then you
holidays.
Get
Yes.
Right.
Well, and that's where there are things you can give them.
Right.
Let's talk about
that. Yeah. So what I recommend is making sure they're away from the temptation,
New
and
toys.
instead giving them a new toy. You can give them this type of bone. This is okay, or a treat that's dog or cat safe.
Real quick, if you're traveling with your pet and putting them in the car, we only have about 15 seconds, but how do you travel best?
The best way to travel with your pet is to have them in a crate when they're traveling, or to have them in a seatbelt in the back seat where it's going to be safest for you. And then lastly, I just want to mention these guys from Best Friends Rescue in Atlanta, Keanu and Candy, and you can see how sweet they are.
Oh my gosh,
and they're looking for a home.
Sweet.
Make sure you let them get that nose out the window.